What's going on, traders? This is John with Bull-Throttle Trading, and today I just kind of wanted to make a short video talking about the RSI indicator. I'm going to show you how I set it up on the Thinkorswim platform. This is just the platform that I use. It doesn't mean that you have to. It doesn't mean that it's the best out there. It's just what I feel comfortable using. And then I will also be going through how I use the RSI line to kind of help get an idea of when to take a position and then when to sell my profits. So if you guys are ready, we'll jump right on in. Okay, so you can see I have a chart open here for an ETN called UGAZ. Now again, I'm using the Thinkorswim platform. So in order to start our RSI indicator, we're going to go to Studies up here in the top right corner, Edit Studies, and there's going to be a little search bar here. Alright, so we're going to go to the search bar, and we'll type in RSI and double click on the first one, and it's going to add RSI to our added studies and strategies. And we'll click apply and then hit OK. So now we can see that our RSI indicator is showing up on the bottom of our screen. So how do traders use this indicator to help them with their trading? Basically, the RSI is a index. It stands for Relative Strength Index, and there's an actual formula that's put together based on the price that a stock is trading at, and that's basically what forms this graph. I won't go into the details. If you're interested in knowing about this, you can look it up. I just want to give more of a technical analysis on the RSI and again how I use it. So if we look at this, we can see that there's a 70 and a 30 that have these yellow lines that run across our RSI indicator. These lines are marked to show us when a stock is overbought or oversold. So what I mean by that, all right, we can see right here at the beginning, we hit points where we get the RSI over 70. Now this is when a stock is considered to be overbought. This is usually a good indication that it might be time to sell your position and lock in your profits. As we can see, UGAZ climbed up, and then once the RSI got above 70, it started to change direction and it started this downtrend on the day. So this would have been, if you were holding, say you bought in down here and you were holding UGAZ, when it reaches this point where you know your RSI is above 70, this might be a good chance to sell your position and lock in your profits. Now this doesn't necessarily mean, oh, okay, my RSI is over 70, so it's now definitely going to bounce and start this downward trend. No, this stock could absolutely keep going from this point. It's just a little less likely for that to happen. So we can see as this downtrend goes, we can see that right here we got to below 30 on our RSI, and the stock bottomed out. And this is exactly why we don't want to use one indicator to make a decision. If we would have bought in here, we would have seen that this stock continued to drop all the way to lows of 25.89, and it would have been a very bad entry point. You want to use the RSI to give you an indication of what it's going to do and then wait for confirmation. So let's look again down here when we hit lows of 25.89. We can see again our RSI is below 30. So okay, this might be a good opportunity to buy. However, we want to wait for confirmation that the stock is showing us that there's a change in direction. So we could see that there was like a staircase going downward here. Well, once we reached this point and it started to bounce, we knew now that we have interest once we got over this previous high. So this right here would have been a good chance to possibly buy in. And we can see that if we would have bought in here, we could have rode up to about 2.8%, which isn't a bad return for a day trade. If you wanted to swing trade, you could still use the RSI indicator, but you're going to use it a little bit differently. So let's look at something that we might want to swing trade. Here, we could look at Netflix. Whoops. All right. So looking at Netflix, this is the 1 day, 1 minute chart, which you can see I have over here. So this was on Friday, and this is how Netflix traded. And again, we can see with the RSI indicator that when it reached these highs of 427, that the stock was extremely overbought, indicating that this is probably a good chance that it's going to start to change direction. So this would have been a good time that if you were holding Netflix and wrote it up, that you might have wanted sold here before it started to drop. Now, if we're looking for a swing trade opportunity, I'd like to look at the 180-day 4-hour chart. So now this breaks it out in the last 6 months, and we can see that right here where things started to tank was when the coronavirus scare started and the market started to crash. So I'm going to zoom in on just this part here because this is where our interest is. So we can see here when we get to these lows around $300, we've received indication that we are now on the oversold side, meaning that, all right, now there's a good chance that this stock is going to change direction. Again, we want to wait for confirmation. So as we can see here, it bottomed out and then came up and even reached newer lows of about $290. At this point, as things start to bounce back, this doesn't mean that we necessarily want to buy yet. We want to see these higher highs. So we can see right here, we've broke past this previous high. So this would have been a good indication that, okay, this might be a good time to buy. So if we would have bought here and rode this up as a swing trade, now each one of these black lines is a day. So we can see at the bottom of the chart, we have all the different dates. So if we would have bought in here, this was on March 19th, we could have rode all the way up and then see we have indication here that we're now above 70. We hit this resistance level of about $448. So this would have been a good indication that, okay, this might be a good time to lock in my profits. Now we could see this was on 416, so that's about 1 month, and we reached a 32% increase roughly. A 32% profit margin on a 1 month trade. Now this would be a very, very good opportunity for traders to take advantage of. Again, it's only a month long with a return of 32%. So this is hopefully giving you guys a good idea of how you can use the RSI indicator to know when to enter and when to exit a trade. Again, we don't want to just rely on one indicator. Pay attention to what the stock is doing and use other indicators as well to verify and confirm what you believe the stock to be doing. If you guys got any value out of this video, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe and stay current with all of my newer videos and lessons on my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot, guys.